Hey guys, Scott from Realistic Outdoors. We're gonna finally have the weather and the time to do the first test on my reflector oven. We're gonna cook some bread. It's a type of a country bread, so it uses powdered milk, and you have to add water, so you don't have to use milk or bring milk on the trail. So basically, it's 2.5 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of quick rise yeast. No, a tablespoon and a half quick rise yeast. I'll leave the recipe. I wrote it down here. 2 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit of salt, and that's about it. And then the powdered milk. So I have it all mixed up. This is what I'll take on the, I won't say the trail, but on our canoe trip this year. And then I'll keep a tiny bit of this inside this bag. This is a little bit extra flour. It's just a hold back, so I can kind of dry out the mix afterwards. So basically, all I have to do is add the 10 ounces of water to the mix and mix it right in the bag, and then I will put it into the container and I'll proof it outside. This water is room temperature now, so 10 ounces. Zip that up as best you can, and then do the whole mix in the bag. So this whole deal, you don't have to mess up anything. You know, I've done a few of these with cakes and stuff. This is the first actual full loaf of bread, and I've also done it with bannock and stuff like that. This will be the first full loaf that I've done this way. So you get that mixed up in there really well. Try and get all the moisture off the sides. A little bit of dough here. Still a little bit moist at the bottom corner. Get that all mixed in. Drop it out. Make sure you get all that moisture mixed into it. Can take a couple minutes. So I'm just gonna keep mixing this up for about 2-3 minutes, and then I'll come back to you, and then hopefully we'll have a ball of dough inside. Okay, working on this for a few minutes, and you can see here we got nice little dough. It's mostly separated from the bag. There is a little tiny spot over here that seemed a little bit moist, so we just worked that a little bit. Once you've done the initial bit, you let the air out of the bag so that you can actually, knead the dough. And that's basically it. I could probably use just a touch of that flour, but I think it'll probably separate. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I can use a tiny bit of that flour just to help it separate from the bag. Just a little bit in there. It's really nice to have bread out when you're camping for 4 or 5 days. It's just kind of nice to have a nice warm bread. All right, so that looks like it's separated. So the last little bit, you get to get dirty a little bit. I take the dough out of the bag as best you can, and then use the bag as your tabletop for just finishing rolling up the dough, just to keep it out of the sticks and stones and odds and ends on your camp there. All right, so there it is, mostly good. We could use a little bit more add on, and then we could just give that a couple more kneads before we stick it in the pan for proofing. And again, I use quick yeast, so and that's it. So now I will make that little dough ball, and I'm gonna go get the pan and get that start proofing. You can proof this in the bag for a while too if you're backpacking. I mean, that's a lot of weight for a backpacker, but day hiker, not a through hiker. So you can just zip that up, put it in your backpack. It's gonna be nice and warm, so it'll proof up and it'll fill the bag. However, you could probably just cook that by fire on a rock. This one is going into my reflector oven, which you may have seen. I'll leave a link so you can go back and watch that if you like. And so we should get a full bread pan. And I'm looking forward to eating it. And hopefully you guys will be able to taste it at home because it's gonna be so good. Okay, I'm gonna get this in the pan. So because this is a canoe trip, I'm not worried about lightweight. So I got a lightly greased pan. Spread it around a little bit. And that's it. I'm gonna get this in here. It's a nice warm day out. You can use this bag for helping proof. You can cover up your dough. Not too worried about what it looks like. Keep the bugs off it. And I'm going to leave this outside. However, I'm going to put it in my greenhouse just to keep it away from the cats and the neighbor's dog. And then we'll come back once it's proofed and I'll get the fire started. We'll cook this up. Yes! Okay, just get the fire started. Get a bit of coals going. There's the reflector oven. Once I get some coals in there, I'll bring the bread out. She's just about ready to go. I have popped the thermometer in there, and I'll be wanting to be somewhere around the red line. It's not going to be super accurate. It's just going to keep me so that I'm not in a spot where I'm going to put too big of a crust on the bread before it's cooked in the center. So I'll just keep my eye on that, and I'll be able to move it closer or further away, depending on what I need. I was a little suspicious my thermometer wasn't accurate over there. So I'm at around 270 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit from there. And my fire isn't coals yet, which I'll move it a little bit closer to because my thermometer says only 60 or 70 degrees Celsius. Oh, wait a sec, what's that in Celsius? Because that was Fahrenheit. Let's see. Okay, Celsius. Yeah, it's like 120, 130 Celsius. So that thermometer's way off. Good thing I checked. Okay, it didn't proof as much as I wanted it to, but it's time to put it on. There we go. Start the timer. Looks good to me. Just 10 minutes in, she's got a little bit of a golden brown on it. It's looking pretty darn good from here. Well, that's about as done as I want it. Take that out, let it cool for a few minutes, and I am going to dig in. There it is, one big country loaf. Let me get that out of that pan. Ow, ow. Yep, why would that be hot? Let's have a look at that. That is amazing. Let's cut into this bad boy. Just look at that. Just beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. Well, there you have it. Nice hot loaf of bread in the bush in a reflector oven. It's gonna go with our soup, stews, whatever else we want. Maybe just some peanut butter on toast in the morning. Cheers. Crunchy bread. It's a little heavy, but it's good. I'm Scott from Realistic Outdoors. Hope you enjoy the bread.